Why hello there young ladies and gents. Today we will be discussing the wonderful world of psychology as we begin to discuss stress in the workplace. To better understand this stress thing, we will be studying a few cases. One case in particular is a man named Ted. As a lawyer at Sacred Heart, he's consistently experiencing stressful situations. To keep things simple, stress can typically be broken down into work stresses or life stresses. Stress can also be categorized as either hindrance stresses and challenge stresses. Let's take a minute to go over each. Job stresses are typically caused by external job conflicts. These conflicts can arise from inflexible hours, bad conditions or hours, role conflict and work overload. In Ted's case, he has added pressure by being placed in a really crazy position. Having to deal with cases such as these off and on throughout his time at the hospital can cause stress to continually build up. Life stresses can be caused by a multitude of different things, ranging from issues with your evil children, neighbors, or a death in the family. Issues such as foreclosure or marital issues can also cause severe stress. Stress can cause anxiety, fatigue, depression, cynicism, and absenteeism within not only the workplace, but everyday life. Hindrance stresses are stresses that inhibit us from completing a task. Stresses such as these are typically found within the workplace. Challenge stresses, on the other hand, are dependent more on the complexity of the work or the amount of work present. Another worker at the Sacred Heart Hospital is a perfect example. In her case, she was overloaded with so much work that she eventually snapped. Now, let's move on to ways of coping. Coping allows a person to moderate their levels of stress and helps them to relax. There are multiple different coping strategies. In Ted's case, he turns to music as a form of self-distraction to get away from the stresses at work. The other doctors at Sacred Heart use video games and sports as a coping mechanism. All of the ways these people deal with stress is highly dependent upon personality. Since the 1980s, psychologists such as Carl Jung and Hans Eysenck have been trying to categorize the responses and personal proclivities of men and women into distinct personality types. How a man or woman interprets events and at what level they gauge the stressfulness of the event will be largely determined by their personality traits.